Alright, so welcome back to Zero Cool Gaming and today's long play of Reckoning. Today I'm going to talk about
Welcome to our famed craft hall. If you've come to buy, you may speak with
I
or myself.
guess a series of movies, 4 movies. And it's the Indiana Jones series.
It was my dream
So,
to gather all our artisans under one roof.
there's a lot of other like spin-offs to Indiana Jones too, don't get me wrong. But I'm just talking about the main 4 movies. And the reason for that is because these were movies that were made during a time when, you know, Hollywood actually cared to make something that was entertaining, not pushing a message
We're
or
known all throughout Allentown. The best artisans all under one roof.
you know, preaching some religious ideology. And I call it a religious ideology because it's like a cult. Truly. Believe what you're told. Don't question.
A village like Dyden Hill needs a man like Kester to watch over.
But these were made during a time when Hollywood cared more about trying to entertain people than necessarily, you know, pushing insane ideology.
He handles the sales of
And as a result, they did create entertaining shows. With the way that you can watch shows today, I mean, being able to stream them, it makes it rather easy to watch all of them at the same time, which is kind of cool, I guess. I mean, we had rental stores before that made that relatively easy, and you could go do that anytime you wanted. But I get, you know, streaming's a little easier, I guess. I mean, I've had a couple of streaming services for a short time. They were convenient, but I didn't really see the difference. And I guess that's because I had systems set up where I could record stuff if I wasn't at home anyway. And it didn't matter to me really whether or not it, you know, I could stream it right then and there out of convenience. That didn't really mean anything to me. So, you know, there's that. So today, yeah, you could watch all of those relatively easily. They're offered on several streaming services from what I gathered. And that's kind of cool, I guess. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's just not something that I ever really looked at as a plus. Yeah, it's not enough for me to go, yeah, let's do that. I want it to be a little higher. Now that might be enough for me to say okay. That's quite a bit more. And I don't really use these things, so we'll leave it.
blacksmithing or alchemy, you're welcome to our
So what do I like about Indiana Jones? And what was the first one? The Lost Ark. Indiana Jones and the Lost Ark was the first one. Yeah. Well, I can remember all of it. There's a plus.
Our doors are always open.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Can I help you?
The malicious store of potions has been used
Okay,
up.
so
We lost our outfits
yeah,
nearly a month
Indiana
ago.
Jones and
Now it's up to me
the
to
Lost
resupply
Ark.
reagents and brew the potions. Somehow.
There are several memorable moments in this show. Like I said, it was done just for the. It was entertainment made just to be entertaining. Truly.
Our biggest problem is boggarts, and the best thing against them would be fire. So
You know,
fire
there's good guys,
potions.
there's bad guys.
Tinder twig and scarwood bark.
I would say that this one was made for an older audience, not necessarily for kids. And none of them are really made for kids, don't get me wrong, regardless of what, you know, Hollywood would try to tell you. And what the critics would try to tell you in their reviews. None of these shows were made for kids.
You do seem the brave and heroic sort. Well, the village has a fund.
But,
Twigs often in that cave-like pass south of the lake. And scarwood barks found by the ruins in northern Glendora Wood.
They were made to be entertaining.
Tinder twig, which is easiest found in Ironhold Passage. And scarwood bark, which is found near the ruins in northern Glendora Wood. Ah, fine specimens too. Have this for your trouble. Oleander Sinclair.
Wow.
Recognize the name?
Yeah, going over
Left to gather
was,
herbs in Ironhold Passage some time ago.
they keep getting lower and lower. And it's not because the airport is getting bigger.
She's the head and the heart of the craft hall. Truth is, I don't know where we'd be without her. Where we crafters work and mostly live. Olin and KoA handle selling the goods.
Realistically speaking, as far as the shows themselves, because you had, you know, the first one, and Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark is what it's called. It starts off with him
I doubt any could have dealt better with the troubles we
going
had.
into this trapped ruins to retrieve a golden idol.
Best thing against boggarts is flame.
And there's lots of memes about that and everything else, little shorts and skits.
Semblance thereof when I've the proper reagents.
And the reason that those persist is because it's the overall movie is enjoyable. That's why people like to use it in all sorts of different ways. And then you have the next show. Now the next show, it's obvious that Hollywood was trying to attract a younger audience. And I'm guessing their justification for that was if there's a kid in it, then it must be for kids. It doesn't really work, but it's far from the first or last show that I've seen
right across the lake.
Hollywood produce that has
I
that
mean that
kind of
fate we've
mentality toward it. And then you have, yeah, the second one, which is Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Now that one starts off kind of odd, to put it mildly. I don't know what type of show it was trying to be, but it basically starts off with like a Vegas cabaret dance, which, you know, to its credit, was very popular back then. I don't think they're so popular today. I know they still do them in Vegas. I really haven't looked up at what kind of popularity they have. I don't know, but I wouldn't think that it's as popular as they want to believe. Not in today's world, anyway. Especially since a lot of the veneer and mystery and that sort of thing has been kind of undone, I guess is a good way of putting it. That is cool. I like the way that looks. Anyway. The story is, you know, like the rest of them, it's not meant to be taken seriously. It's just meant to be enjoyable. With all of the Indiana Jones shows, they do a little bit of mysticism in that respect, or you know, like, I wouldn't say that they take it to the extreme, but they all go into it a little bit on the surface level in that respect. They show that there's something going on there. And even in the first one, at the end of it, everybody with their eyes open dies. So it's in the second one, you know, there's this unseen power, force, entity. In the third one, it's the power of God. You know. And then in the fourth one, it's aliens. So, I mean, they go into some extreme sense or source in that respect in all of them, and represent that in a pretty extreme way in all of them. But it's not meant, like I said, to be taken seriously. It's just meant to be entertaining. And the shows are entertaining. As far as the order in which I like these shows, I actually like them in the order that they were released. The first one being my favorite, and the last one being my least favorite. But it doesn't mean that I didn't enjoy them in general. I did enjoy them in general. I thought they were pretty cool shows. You know, fun to watch, entertaining, good time sink. But not what I would call works of art in that respect. Is there artistic value to it? I'm sure there is, but I mean, really it was just meant to be entertaining, meant to be enjoyable. Well, that would have been really easy if I just not moved it at all. Okay. Meant to be entertaining, yes. That's what these shows were. They were meant to be entertaining. Did they succeed at that? I would say that they did. Like I said, I watched every one of them. I didn't mind any of them. It's not like they taught me anything or went over any deep subjects of value, no. Absolutely not. Entertaining? Yes. Well done? Yeah, this was back when Lucasfilms was actually Lucasfilms, and they knew how to make things that people enjoy. Kind of like how Disney used to know how to make, you know, shows for kids. Now they seemingly not, because they, on a basic level, seem to not understand what children are. It's kind of sad when you think about it, but that's the sickness of this, you know, woke brain rot that we have going on. But yeah, Lucasfilms used to know how to make films that were just simply enjoyable. And that was really when it was George Lucas himself doing it, which is what made the films enjoyable. The Holy Grail, again, they went back to a older audience that they were appealing to instead of a younger audience. Or at least that's what it seems like to me, is that they were not so worried about trying to appeal to younger audiences. I mean, the reality is that young people get older, so I don't feel that that's a plus for most movies, unless it's designed for children to begin with. And then there's always kids being born, so, you know, producers used to understand this stuff. Oh my God. But today they just want to pretend like they don't. I don't know exactly what the purpose is, but I'm pretty sure it's not good. It never is when they do insanity like this. But realistically speaking, the Indiana Jones series is pretty nice. It's pretty fun. It keeps you I'm probably not going to live through this. I survived. Only because of health potions. So, you know, if you're looking for some shows that are interesting, to say the least, somewhat enjoyable and aren't trying to push some insane ideology down your throat. There is shows like that out there. And here's a set of them. There's, you know, like I said, there's 4 of them. The last one, of course, is the Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull. And I bet that they would try to say that they were trying to tackle the subject of aliens in that show. But no, no, not really. I guess you could say that George Lucas was very good at being lukewarm on everything, on any subject, so that it would not necessarily offend people, but it would turn less people off. That's kind of how I view his stories. They're done very mildly. All of them are. And that is deliberate, don't get me wrong. I'm well aware of that. Let me take a look at something here real quick. Okay. I am a level 6. Wow. Okay. So yeah, Indiana Jones series, it's a pretty good series. It, you know, covers some topics at a very surface level, but they are enjoyable, they're entertaining. There's something fun to watch. So that's my rant for the day, and I hope you enjoy the rest of yours.